Good evening and welcome to Lntv News Live, 30 minutes production of the television department here at the Liberia Broadcasting System. My name is Amanda Yasir Saleh, anchoring tonight's edition of the news program. And these are the top stories we're following. President George Weah declares Wednesday, March 24 as World Tuberculosis Day and is being observed across Liberia as working holiday. Former Defense Minister and Lofa County Senator Elite Browning Samukai begins repaying pension money for soldiers of the armed forces of Liberia. The citizens of 3rd District in Bomi County petitioned the Liberian government for the undertaking of several development projects in the district. And away from Liberia, Congo-Brazzaville President Denis Sassou Nguesso re-elected by landslide. These and many other developments coming up in tonight's presentation of the news program. Let's take a short break to be right back with the developments. President George Weah has declared Wednesday, March 24 as World Tuberculosis Day and is to be observed across Liberia as a working holiday. According to a foreign ministry release, this year's World Tuberculosis Day will be celebrated under the global theme, "It is time," with the slogan, "Get involved, stop the spread of TB." In the proclamation, President Weah is calling on the Health Ministry and other government agencies and concerned international organizations to initiate appropriate programs befitting the celebration of the day. World Tuberculosis Day is aimed at highlighting the threat TB poses to the human race and informing the world about the global actions to prevent the spread of TB across the world. The citizens of 3rd District in Bomi County have petitioned the Liberian government to undertake several development projects in the area. The citizens named road rehabilitation, the elevation of the district's only junior high school to senior high, and the renovation and improvement of the government clinic as development projects needed to be carried out in the area. Others are the construction of a market building, the provision of scholarships, and skill training for the district's youth. The two separate petition statements were read by the head of the chiefs and elders of 3rd District, Sekou Johnson, and the district's youth chairman, Alfred Momolu. Johnson appealed to the government to empower traditional leaders by providing mobility to enhance the work. For his part, the youth chairman, Alfred Momolu, named the construction of TVET Institute and a scholarship scheme for students of the district. Responding to the petitions at a town hall meeting in Zodi town, President George Weah said the Liberian government has already agreed to construct residential homes for nurses. Meanwhile, health care workers in Bomi County have been assured of affordable shelters while they provide health services to the people. The commitment was made by President George Weah, who also promised to include housing for nurses in the ongoing 15-county housing project. President Weah gave the assurance Tuesday in Tottenham as part of his ongoing county tour.
We will do our best. We will do our best. And you will not be disappointed. Some things that we can do, we will do it, and you will be happy. The other things that you have to pass through your lawmaker, the bishop, the Snowe, Maurice Tuma, and the rest. And I'm sure they can help you. And when they get together, they will come to me. It will be easy for me to join them to to sign any document so they can help you. In the meantime, the men and women that are in the health sector that are working here do not have place to sleep. We will get back on our drawing board and then we'll make sure that they have place to sleep. That you don't have to go through your parliament. We will just include the nursing housing in the 15 county housing, and then they will have place to sleep. So I want you to have the confidence in us to know that the proper government is your government, and this government will work for you. The young people, thank you for keeping the peace. Thank you for monitoring your own town.
At the same time, Bomi County Senator-elect has expressed gratitude to President George Weah for his developmental initiatives around the country and choosing Bomi as part of his county tour. Senator Snowe spoke Monday in Tottenbury, Bomi County, during a meeting with citizens as part of President Weah's visit to the county.
Mr. President, the people of Bomi County are reliable people. When they give you the word, go and sleep on it. When they tell you they're for you, they are for you. They don't play games. And what you are seeing here today, what you saw in Durham District, is the true feeling of the Bomi citizens. They don't pretend. When they say they're for you, they're for you. Check, give them respect in return, and when you tell something to them, you slay by your word, and we know you are capable of doing that. So, Mr. President, we are very happy. We are extremely excited that you have come to Bomi today with your officials of government. Please be at home. I won't take my seat, Mr. President, without saying to you, on Saturday I was here with the mayor of the city, and we called the president of the LFA, your junior brother that you made president, that you made me president years back. And I know what you did for me when I was president of LFA. I know how much support you gave me to be where I am today. So with the one you can give to Mustafa, we called Mustafa and asked him to look at this week. And he promised us that he's going to make it a priority of one of the FIFA projects. But we know, Mr. President, if nobody knows, I know. FIFA will not undertake any project in Africa. I said that we are Africa, it ain't wasteful to you and you get a green light. So I told you, this year, you and I know you pay on this year before. So you have your fee here, Mr. President. Help us and let's make the fee. The fee already has a natural stadium. Let the fee be right here. Let the football fee right here. We can just change the fee. So I want to appeal to you, Mr. President. And Mr. President, one finish placing the fee here, that they call it dual fee, but we call it Illumina, the caucus, and we want to be able to name the fee the Cloud Marine Via Football Stadium in Bomi County.
Former Defense Minister, now Lofa County Senator-elect Browning Samukai, has begun restituting the pension money of soldiers of the Armed Forces of Liberia at EcoBank. The restitution followed Criminal Code C April 22, 2020 conviction verdict that was later affirmed by the Supreme Court on February 8 this year. Mr. Samukai and two of his deputies, Joseph Johnson and Human Docker, were convicted for misusing over $1 million United States dollars of the soldiers' pension funds during the regime of former Liberian President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Several men and women, 16 Representative Dixon Sibo is pleading with the House of Representatives for his colleague, Lofa County Representative Francis Yumalin, to interpret his recent comments that borders on national security. He spoke in plenary Tuesday.
Judging from the 1980s until we went through our 1990 war that even went to was 2005. And it is important for us to ensure that we maintain the peace that we have got in our country. Let me set a disclaimer quickly that this is not political, it's not party. It borders on our national security, and as such, we need to discuss with that open mind.
For his part, Lofa County District 1 Representative Francis Yumalin termed the assertion as a misquotation.
And I thought today this House will be asking me the status of this issue with the executive branch of government. I thought in the first place the leadership that made the intervention will have been briefing the House of Representatives today, because I am aware that in consultation with the Speaker, with the Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Deputy Speaker, who is a lawyer, made an intervention. Authorities of the NSA came here, and the result of that meeting was that the NSA will write either to invite me or not to. I have yet to hear from the NSA. And so I told my colleagues and the leadership of the Speaker, I thought you're being sympathy with me that one of us is being called by one of the branches of government. But instead there's a letter on the floor to more or less investigate me. But let me say this, Mr. Speaker, distinguished colleagues. The letter has a serious misquotation, serious misrepresentation. I did not say that when the senator-elect is not certificated, far from fetch, far from the truth. He attempted to play my statement.
The Magibi County Detachment of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, LDEA, has arrested several persons for being in possession of narcotic substances in the county. Making the disclosure recently to a team of journalists in the county, LDEA Magibi County Detachment Commander Behelo Max said those arrested, including a 44-year-old man from Wiala, have been charged and sent to court for prosecution. Mr. Lomax said drug dealers are usually arrested and sent to court, but they later return to their respective communities due to reported compromises coupled with inducement from high-profile individuals. Our Upper Magibi County correspondent calls Mr. Lomax as saying he wants the legislature amend the drug laws to make it non-bailable. He said if that is done, it will serve as a deterrent for would-be violators, especially drug traffickers. In case you're just joining us, a reminder that you're watching Lntv News Live, 30 minutes production of the television department here at the Liberia Broadcasting System. My name is Amanda Yasia Sali, anchoring tonight's presentation of the news program. And these are the top stories we are following. President George Weah declares Wednesday, March 24 as World Tuberculosis Day and is being observed across Liberia as working holiday. Former Defense Minister and Lofa County Senator-elect Browning Samokai begins repaying pension money for soldiers of the armed forces of Liberia. The citizens of Ter District in Bomi County petitioned the Liberian government for the undertaking of several development projects in the district. And away from Liberia, Congo-Brazzaville President Denis Sassou Nguesso re-elected by landslide. These and many other stories coming up in tonight's presentation of the news program. But let's take a short break to be right back. Welcome back to Lntv News Live. Liberia's Nobel Peace Laureate Bomi is calling for reinforcement of the country's educational system with trade, talent development, and spiritual and emotional education. Madam Bomi said combining these aspects along the usual classroom education will help better the lives of Liberian youth. She spoke recently during the official launch of Learning Squared Liberia, an educational NGO operating in Liberia.
For any country, but what kind of education are we talking about? Is it only to sit in a classroom and teach? My answer is a resounding no. The education that I think we should invest in is beyond the classroom. Open these children's eyes to opportunities outside. Move them away from thinking that education is only when you are a doctor, a lawyer, or a banker. Let them start thinking about the arts. Let them start thinking about music. Let them start thinking about other things we need to invest in all of these different areas, because the world has changed, or the world has morphed into a world that is no longer looking for just doctors and lawyers and nurses. The world is looking for entrepreneurs, people who can take nursing like Yasa and turn it into a money-making venture that people will look at. People who can take peace building and turn it into a money-making venture that can invest in other places. These farmers, it's time for us to debunk the myth that farming is a dirty thing. It's time for us to encourage our young people to move beyond all of those conventional areas that we talked about. That's the first thing. The second thing that I want to emphasize, we can't keep saying you educate someone, you've educated a nation. The education is not just in paying school fees. It's a 360 degrees investment. If you want to send people to school, you got to be prepared to journey with them.
Decided to invest in diplomacy. We produced the first black female president of the UN General Assembly. Exactly. Angie Bros Rwanda. When Liberia decided to invest in sports, we produced, and that record has never been broken as of yet, and it may not be in our lifetime. World best, European best, Africa best, everything best, planet Earth best, all in one season. And that was after several years. And we decided, look, this sport with emphasis in football, we think we can try our hand at it. When Liberia decided to invest in peace, we produced 2 Nobel laureates at one shot. So I know when we decide to take education with the same gusto, the same enthusiasm, the same fervor, Liberia can surpass the Rwandan story.
Disclosed plans to include 2 new counties to the 5 counties already benefiting from the organization's programs.
Just over 4 years, we have reached over 300 students, trained 50 women on our social microfinance project in small business and entrepreneurship. Currently, we work with 12 schools across Liberia, and I say this is unprecedented. And currently work in 5 counties, a small low group, started from nowhere. The good news is we are on our way to Lofa and Bomi County right after this program. We increased our scholarship beneficiaries to 300 since our inception in 2017, with just 17 students in the resident school system. You heard the case, that was a testimony for them. Today we are working with 12 schools and 50 women who benefited from our micro loan program. We are proud to have achieved all of these. Thus, our team and volunteer made the difference. I cannot thank them enough for their hard work and dedication. I also cannot thank you all enough For without you, none of our accomplishment and commitment to deliver opportunities for children will have happened.
A group of diaspora Liberians under the banner "Once a Liberian, Always a Liberian" is seeking the passage of the dual citizenship bill still lingering at the Liberian Senate. The bill seeks to give citizenship to Liberian children born in the diaspora. In a press statement Tuesday on Capitol Hill, on behalf of the group, the communication director George Lobo said the bill will enable Liberia.
So that's very clear. So let's say a man who lives in California, if there's no consulate there, he or she has to either use Minnesota or Washington, D.C. to obtain a Liberian visa. So this addresses that problem. Not only that, you saw as it relates to the referendum, there are restrictions from what they can do and cannot do, given the number of cases that the Supreme Court have had to rule in the past, with the Jallo case and other cases relating to citizenship. Even William Glay, when he contested for the Senate from Grand Gila County. So what we're trying to say here is, let the law be clear so that we can run into problems, so that Mr. Yato talked about the economic importance. In terms of discrimination, we continue to be the people who hold the peace in this country. Many people believe that because UNMIL or ECOWAS troop comes here. I tell any government, if Liberians in the diaspora withhold support for 1 month, no government will set in power. So we've maintained the peace because the government hires not more than 75,000 persons in this country. So who's picking up the slack? It's by the remittances that come to this country from Liberians in the diaspora. You think if all those people you see got relatives that they go to MoneyGram, Western Union, if they ain't got people sending them money, what will happen to this country? So what we are saying is that they don't want to be called internet citizens. They don't want to be looked at differently. They don't have to go to DC. It should be a choice whether they want to go obtain visa or not, that they can be able to just come to Liberia. Let the law be there to protect them and let them feel secure. We must not forget what this law hopes to accomplish as well. There are naturalized Liberians here as well who feel that they've been limited as it relates to their participation. So we want to address this thing. We are looking long term.
Liberians are being urged to change their mindset toward the country for its growth and development. The president of the Liberian Business Association in the United States, Jackson George, said Liberians need to exert collaborative efforts to build the country. Mr. George spoke to reporters over the weekend in Congo Town at a ceremony marking the end of the year, the Yibli Festival.
We, the people, need to change our mindset. For Liberia to grow, we all need to intentionally believe that we want to develop our country. It can't be left on one man's shoulder. It can't be left on a group of Liberian shoulders. We, the people, we have to make it a conscious decision that we want to develop. And that development starts from home. That development starts from the community. That development starts from government, churches. We, the people, we have to want to do it. We can't do it in isolation. We are all inextricably bound together. Our sources is inextricably bound together, and those are things that we need to understand, that one man's failure is our failure. When a child in Rivers sit on a block to go to school, it is all of us' problem. When an old lady in Cape Town doesn't have food to eat, it's not just government problem, it's our problem. You know, if one person is destitute, it is our problem. And so it is time for us as a people to start caring for each other and understand that we all need to do what it takes to grow our economy and build our economy. I think Liberia is one of the best countries in the world. I always say that, and because I believe in it. The only thing we need to do is to respect each other. As long as we can respect each other, this country will grow. That's all.
And away from Liberia, President Denis Sassou Nguesso of Brazil has won re-election by a landslide. the main opposition candidate, Guy Bryce Parfait Colelas, who died on Sunday, gathered 8% of the vote. Mr. Colelas was suffering from COVID-19. President Sassou Nguesso has ruled that country for 37 years. He has been in power since 1979, except for a 5-year period after losing elections in 1992. Well, that's how I would like to leave you on tonight's presentation of Lntv News Live. But before we go, a recap of the headlines. President George Weah declares Wednesday, March 24 as World Tuberculosis Day and is being observed across Liberia as a working holiday. Former Defense Minister and Lofa County Senator-elect Browning Samakai begins repaying pension money for soldiers of the armed forces of Liberia. The citizens of 3rd District in Bomi County petition the Liberian government for the undertaking of several development projects in the district. And away from Liberia, Congo-Brazzaville President Denis Sassou Nguesso re-elected by landslide. On behalf of the entire team here at the Liberia Broadcasting System, my name is Amanda Yasia Sali. Thanking you so much for watching and thanks for being with us from Painesville, outside the nation's capital, Monrovia. Good morning. Keep watching Lntv. Do join us tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock for a brand new edition of Lntv News Live. Good night. Thanks for watching.